author of Tripping Over Canvases, How to Open Your Own Art Gallery with No Experience, and art director here at Above Art Studios, located at 55 Moore Street, downtown New Brunswick, New Jersey. Yeah, so this is people discovering you and basically putting other people onto it. Like 20,000 in your first year is phenomenal. First of all, that's you said it kind of lightly, and you breezed by it. So yeah, it's not a light thing. People have been on there for a handful of years and still don't have 20,000. We don't have 20,000 for our gallery. We only like 4,200. You know, we celebrated our 4-year anniversary. So, how much goes into building the brand, or is it really, moving on its own? Like you do marketing behind that? You have a manager or anything like that?
So Black Girls Who Paint started as kind of like as an art sharing platform. I initially wanted it to be, just showcasing Black women artists. Then I realized, because people used to DM me different to submit. So it was open at that time, but then I realized most people were DMing me the same type of artwork. And so I was like, okay, I know that we're Black women artists, but I know we are still versatile. You know what I mean? So why am I not seeing, abstract or portraiture or pop or minimalist? So I started with weekly themes. So I could actually diversify the type of artwork that was shown, and I could include more people as opposed to just posting pretty much portraiture or like Black art. I wanted to kind of expand. I wanted more people to actually feel seen, and I wanted to actually create a community, because I always say Black Girls Who Paint is bigger than myself. I rarely post my own art. Honestly, last year was one of the first times where I was even like, hey, I'm Sasha-Loriene. I'm the owner. Like, nobody really knew who it was behind it unless you knew me personally. But then I was like, in order to actually grow the brands, I have to say the things that need to be said. Like, I have to actually be political in a sense. I have to be present, because I can't motivate and encourage other people to stand up, to share their stories if I don't tell my own as well. So it's pretty much me behind the whole thing. I now have a business manager as of November who's helped me put more structure and organization in it, as opposed to like me waking up and just doing everything on a day-to-day basis. Now everything is more planned out and more streamlined. And I'm also trying to get an outreach intern that I'm actually gonna start my interview process tomorrow for that. So I'm trying to expand the team now, because with Black Girls Who Paint, it's more than just an Instagram brand. I wanted it to be a community that, well, before the pandemic, I wanted it to be like, okay, we can be like on social media, but like at a certain point in time, we have to log off and actually go to events. We actually have to be present in our actual and proactive in our art practices. And then, COVID said, no, you're not. You're going to sit down and you're going to relax. And so we had to figure out, that's why I say, like, we had to figure out how to actually still be present and still mobilize and motivate Black women artists, so our artwork is actually still seen and not just consumed. So yeah, now we're expanding. We have the directory, we have the magazine that is live as of today. What else? We have partnerships, and then we also have a lot of like social or community engagement projects based in different cities. I have been partnering with some nonprofits in DC. That we're gonna pick back up after like the COVID and whatnot, because we're supposed to do kind of like a mentorship with like the kids at an art program. So just kind of expanding, but also realizing that I can't do everything myself as well as maintain my own practice. So I'm in the process of expanding more so I can better delegate and streamline information, because I don't want to just assault people with information because that's like having a TV with too many channels. You normally just pick one or two channels when you have too many options. So I want to kind of streamline it now. That's where I'm going moving forward.
Nice. I'm glad you got that all together. Definitely very proud of what you're doing with that organization. And you know, I can see it going a lot further. It's probably way more than 100,000 Black girls who paint, or people who, might be art collectors that, might be interested in a particular niche or just looking for a period, regardless of what it is. So there is really a need, and I'm seeing a movement towards, like you said, normalizing artists, that share our physical attributes, basically. Um, so that's big. That's big. Congratulations on that. Do you how do you manage your personal artistry versus the organization? Because I know for your personal side, you do have a virtual gallery, right, of your own artwork.
Yeah.
So in terms of building that brand, versus the Black girls who paint. What is
So what was the last part? What was the last part you said?
What is the percentage of time basically like you would spend doing one versus the other? Is anything a little more dramatic than the other?
Yeah, so previously I would say in 2020, 2019, Black Girls Who Paint did take majority of my time. And that's one thing that I'm actually focusing on this year is balance, is not getting too consumed not getting too consumed with the movement as opposed to letting my own, whether it's my mental health, my own artistic health, but paying more attention to myself as well, which is why it's super important to have a team. But I would say it's about 70% Black Girls Who Paint, 30% my own art. Only because I have taken a step back from actually marketing my own art. Like I said earlier, I'm in like an explorative, like an experimental stage in my practice. And I have so many like studies hanging around my walls at any day to day. And I'm really trying to hone what I'm trying to say as an artist, which is why I started My Studios, where it's pretty much dedicated to inner child healing as well as the artist practice, not just the marketing or the management of art, but actually building a consistency in your practice and not creating art for consumption, but creating art to just tell your story. So what I'm trying to do is 50-50 now. And so I'm working on balance this year, and actually figuring out what type of artwork feels good to myself, what kind of materials and mediums do I prefer, as opposed to other prefer from me, and just finding more balance and boundaries with the art life as well as the business life and like the personal life. So it's a progress. It's a process.
What advice would you give to a new Black girl who paints? She just started painting, or maybe she's been painting for a while. She just quit a job and she's looking to get out there. Well, what advice would you have for
This is a good one. I would say whatever you're doing, keep going. Don't give up, because literally by you living in your own truth and your own boldness and creating art that tells your stories, that's like one of the biggest acts of defiance against a world that's literally not set up for you to succeed. It's not set up for it to be easy for you being Black and also being a woman. So just keep going and definitely set boundaries. I think that's one thing, is to set boundaries with people, but also set boundaries with your artwork and know that that's really really a vulnerable area, and not everyone can, no one else can create how you create. So, you know, own that fact and step in front of your own life, be proactive.
1 second, real quick. I'm getting let me see if you see. I'm sorry, I got another artist popping in right now to pick up some artwork. 1 second.
It took like an hour to get it. I'm like, holy crap. So I have Ella.
Use the booklet and look in there and find it, but it's probably in the closet if it's not there. I just started bringing everything over.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. Doing great. All right, Sasha, and for our final question, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That's a good question. It's always the hardest question to answer.
If you don't make the plan, you can't get there.
Living my truth as an artist, in every role in life. I do not see myself still in the Maryland, DC area. Not sure where, but and I also see Black Girls Who Paint being more of a nonprofit, probably more of a nonprofit, but more like of an arts organization that really is spearheading a lot of work in the actual community, not just online. So I want to definitely have more grassroots efforts wherever city I am, also in Maryland, because I grew up here, but whatever city I am, and having different pockets, maybe different chapters of memberships, and just more representation across the board, normalizing Black women in the arts.
That sounds dope. Question: would you consider, because your network is, well, I mean, it's probably international at this point, but it's definitely national at least. Would you consider organizing pop-up exhibitions in different markets so you can actually have, you know, those Black girls who are following you? I know we keep saying Black girls, it's called Black Girls Who Paint, but, you know, Black women following you, to actually have their stuff inside spaces, so anybody that's in that area, you know, can come and do that, and then kind of do it in the different areas. You know, maybe probably the major markets to make it best for the numbers, but to give them an opportunity to show their work to other people and physically, and actually be able to interact, network, and grow and learn from other artists as well.
Yes, that's definitely on like the, I say to-do list. I can't think of a better word right now, but like that's literally in my strategic plan. Before COVID, we actually had an exhibition planned and secured, but we had to stay inside. So we're figuring out how to re-envision that now, but definitely within the next 5 years, definitely more exhibitions, definitely more art markets and stuff like that, and just helping to further normalize seeing Black women in the arts, because we're here, whether you see us or not, we're always here. We've always been here, and a lot of artwork has been historically created with our essence anyway. So I definitely want to see more art exhibitions as well. And I've been actually transitioning the membership to be more supportive for that. We're actually starting, this is a sneak peek. I haven't even told my members, but starting February, because we have monthly calls where I give like updates and I just check in, just because I know that a lot of us are still working digitally, and we kind of are lacking that actual face-to-face contact and community. But I'm going to be transitioning it to kind of like a feedback circle where we're able to practice presenting our artwork and getting critiques and feedbacks and just practicing talking about our artwork. Because I know for me, I used for the longest time, probably until like 2019, I used to, when I would participate in like exhibitions or jury exhibitions, I would never attend artist talks because I was too nervous to actually talk about my art. And so when I actually started talking about my art, I was like, why was I nervous? Like, we're all here talking about art. These are like my people. Like, this is actually like my community here. Not like the corporate field or not always being in the background. So starting February, we're doing every month, we're going to be presenting. It's going to be like a sign-up sheet. I haven't worked out all of the logistics, but it's pretty much going to be, we're going to be presenting our artwork and also speaking about it and receiving artwork to kind of build more art confidence. So when the world does open up, we're more confident about our work, and we've already had some practice along those lines. So I'm excited for that. 2020 and 2021, you know, we started off rocky, but we're going to pivot. And, you know, after January is over, we're going to actually start, you know, 2021 programming efforts.
I'm excited for all of that. Definitely excited for all that. I'm here for it. Our audience will be here for it. We can find the Black Girls Who just like that, Black Girls Who Paint on IG, right? You guys also have a website.
Yeah, so the website is Black Girls Who Paint, and also we're on Facebook and Twitter, but our main platform is Instagram right now. So you can just Google Black Girls Who Paint, and all of our social medias and our website will pop up as well. And as well as our magazine too. So.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen, I'm gonna shoot you over some articles for that too.
Thank you. And I'll also send you issue 4. It was just released right now. I mean, yeah, it was released yesterday / this morning. So I've been kind of like running around. But issue 5, which will be, in like March or April, is gonna be a really transformative kind of issue. I'm opening it up because right now I've been, you know, the editor, I've been the writer, I've been doing everything, but now we're gonna get more writers. We're gonna get more articles in it as well. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited as well too. And we'll make sure we include the links for everything down in the description, so people can click on that and, you know, be taken directly to everything that it is that you're doing, be part of your wonderful universe, and, you know, join you and all the other Black Girls Who Paint. And, you know, I just happen to be somebody who like Black Girls Who Paint, so I'm on there too. Definitely thank you. We appreciate it. And make sure you guys go out and cop my new book as well too, Tripping Over Canvases, How to Be a Successful Entrepreneur. Thank you again. It's another episode of